in the haze of a warm golden day, where laughter dances and children play. We gather our hearts under skies so blue. It's time to rise up, let love shine through.
Hi, folks. This is Bill Munsell with the Remnant Broadcasting. The RBN presents. And today I have a special guest with us today, the executive producer of the Petra movie will be coming out pretty soon this year. And just a little introduction of Joe. He's a seasoned Christian event producer who has worked with artists such as Rebecca St. James, Sonic Flood, Brian Littrell, is that correct? And others. A major highlight was working with A&E Network. I'm very familiar with them. And producing an event that was featured on the popular television series Dog the Bounty Hunter. Building on his success, Joe has been national event consultant for Alpha USA and has produced Christian events for colleges and professional sports teams. In 2015, Joe founded the marketing agency Revelant Elephant in Chicago. So please welcome Joe Sanders.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So you are working on this Petra movie. I understand. Now, when I first got familiar with it, I'm going, but we already had a Petra movie many years ago.
You'd be real proud.
Stephen Yates Production did something, and it was kind of more of a video album, basically what it was. And I remember when Stephen made that thing, and it was kind of neat because the I Am on the Rock section of the video was done here at my Oregon coast over here, not far, and I saw the area where they put the drums and everything, so it was kind of fun. So what makes Petra Beyond Belief, the movie, if I got the order wrong, please forgive me. What makes this different?
So, yes, back in the day, Stephen made Beyond Belief, the video album, which was a short film. It was an hour long. Half of it is narrative about story. The other half is basically music videos from the Beyond Belief album. It's on YouTube. If you want to watch it, it's really good. Stephen's a great guy. This is a feature film. This is a movie for the modern faith-based audience. It is an 80s movie. So it's a faith-based movie that takes place in the 80s. And when we were kind of going through the idea of doing this, I was actually really surprised that nobody had ever made like a faith-based 80s movie before. Now, we were talking earlier, there is Electric Jesus, which did come out a few years ago. Yes, a lot of people have seen that. It's not technically a faith-based movie, and that's okay. But what we were thinking, looking at the sort of the landscape of where faith-based movies are these days, and we're like, I wonder why nobody ever made one in the 80s. So we decided to do that. And on the side of that, I wanted to make sure that the movie was authentic. I said, well, if we're going to make a faith-based 80s movie, this is actually, this is sacred ground. So let's make it authentic. So what I did was I went down the Spotify rabbit hole. And I was listening to every single faith-based 80s movie, any 80s band I could find. So Garmo and Key, Rez Band, Striper, and of course, many, many more. Daniel Band, of course, and many, many more. But of course, Petra, right? So I was listening to a lot of music, and finally, it's just like the song Beyond Belief, which is widely considered sort of the darling of that genre anyway, was just, to me, was just like rising to the top for me. And I just kept listening to it over and over. I probably listened to it 10,000 times, right? And I remember I went to our team and I said, guys, I've been listening to all this 80s Christian rock. I said, not only do I think this is the best song I've heard from this genre, this is what our movie's about. And then everybody was like, okay. So we kind of went through this process, and I was reading them the lyrics. I'm like, this is really what our movie's about. And then I said, well, I wonder if we could go and get Petra if they wanted to participate in this movie somehow. And so the team's all looking at me and they're like, oh yeah, sure, Joe. You go do that. We'll stay here and live in the real world. So I went out and I found Bob Hartman, and I called him up. He was kind of hard to find, actually. Bob was sort of done at this point. And so I found him, and my phone call to Bob was, hey, Bob, listen, I'm not calling from Hollywood. I don't have any money because I didn't at the time, but I've got this idea, and I want to know if you guys would be interested in doing this with us. So over the course, Bob said yes. We met, we had dinner with John, and he said yes. He said sure. And so we went down this process together, this journey. Now, Beyond Belief, the movie, what we made, is not about Petra, right? It's a movie about a kid growing up in the 80s that wants to be like Petra. He has his own garage band, okay? And he wants to be like them. So he goes to see them in concert, and he listens to their music. And so this movie is different from the video album in that this is technically the first feature film that's ever licensed a Petra song before. And we could not believe this when we found this out. 50 years of Petra, all their album Grammys and all their millions of albums and touring the world. There has never, ever been a movie that has licensed put a Petra song in it before, secular or Christian. And we're the first ones. So we have this very strong faith-based movie. It's in the 80s. It's got a great vibe. It's got a great faith message, but it's made for sort of the modern faith-based audience.
Have you ever heard the voice of God? I have.
Andy is a good kid. He's just been through a lot.
Bad things happen to good people.
I just wish I didn't have to lose my dad.
You going to the concert tomorrow night?
I am. This could be out of this world.
Part of our mission as a band is to help the next generation, which is why we're announcing a battle of the bands.
I need to be focused on winning the battle of the bands. The record deal will be more than enough for us to save the church.
It is victory at all costs.
Knock this to the ground.
I signed up to run a marathon.
You're a great guitar player, but
you are not disciplined.
This is bigger than me. I feel like it's something I'm supposed to do.
What a ridiculous way for us to take our focus off of winning the battle of the bands.
How many more miles until you tell me why?
It's not what we think we know, Andy. It's what we believe that matters. You ready?
We got in. This is our chance.
So what's next?
We need the perfect song. Can you make it happen?
It's about rhythm. It's about integrating mind, body, and soul in a singular direction for a common goal.
It's not what we know. It's what we believe that matters. We can win this thing if we play together.
This is it.
I can't wait to see how this plays out.
Just too loud. What? It's too loud. Is this Christian music?
Wow. Yeah, I can relate to that because when I was younger in the 80s, of course, I wasn't that young. I was in my 20s, or was I in my 30s? But there was a time, because I went in the recording studio with a friend of mine, and I came up with an album that I finally made it to Spotify. Big story, don't want to get into it, but I too wanted to be like Petra as well. And my church that I was going to at the time, the youth group was crazy about Petra, and all the guys in Petra, and as a matter of fact, one of the first Christian bands I ever saw when I became a Christian, when I became born again, was Petra and Servant, and which led me to live with the Servants Ministry. They had a missionary society here in Grants Pass, Oregon. And I ended up living with them for a while. So I had this, great ambition to be a musician and write songs and do all this. And, but it took me a lot of years, took me I got writer's block for 30 years. And then I got back into it, but it opened doors to do other things. So it took me 30 years to get where I'm at today, and so I think audiences are really going to relate to this kind of movie. And so when do you think this movie will be out?
So Beyond Belief will be coming to theaters nationwide on September 11th. So we will be launching through Iconic Releasing. It will be at all theaters nationwide. You can go to our website or our social media pages and find where the theaters are going to be if you want to, buy tickets and things like that. So that's what's happening. It's very exciting. So our company has made several faith-based films in the past. This is the first one that we've made that will be in the theaters. So we're very excited, yeah, I think people are really going to enjoy it. It's as we were describing it to people. It's an original story, so it's not based on a true story or anything like that. It's sort of a cross between Field of Dreams and The Karate Kid, with this music element involved. And we met. I talked to a lot of people who found out about the movie that have shared stories similar to yours, and they said that was me. Yeah, I wanted to be like Petra. And it's interesting if you look at like the modern landscape of contemporary Christian music, there's the whole generation that's playing, the John Coopers of the world, the Mac Powells of the world. They're just you guys. They made it really big, but they all wanted to be Petra. That's why they started all these bands. So really Petra's, influence and legacy is just, part of that CCM world is really just, they were part of that story, So in the movie, though, in regards to the music, we wanted the music in the movie to be really authentic. So we have Brian Whitman, who's used to be in Audio Adrenaline, in our other film we made, did all the original music for us. So this one we called Brian. We say, listen, we need somebody to write and produce 80s Christian rock songs for this movie, because we need original songs for this band that this kid has, his garage band and a few other bands. And so we had Brian come in and do some music. So you're going to get Petra music in this movie, but you're also going to get some original 80s faith-based songs that we produced just for the movie.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But so they've been very obviously outside of that. We don't have any, there's no like original Petra songs in the movie. We're using all the classic Petra songs that you may not have heard before in a movie. So if you're going to, and you grew up in the 80s listening to Petra, and you kind of always dreamed if you're watching something on the big screen that maybe there's a training montage or maybe there's something going on in the movie. Man, it'd be really cool to play a Petra song. This is going to be the first time you're ever going to see that in the big screen.
All right. Well, sounds exciting. We're looking forward to it. And I want to thank you to be on the show. Is there anything else you need to announce or anything before we go?
No, I think September 11th, we're Beyond Belief, theaters nationwide. Get your tickets. We'll look forward to seeing you at the movies.
All right. Sounds good. Looking forward to it. All right. Thanks for joining us today, Joe Sanders.